Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. We've got one of the newest releases from DC Collectibles in their DC Designer Series. Basically, their DC Comics Bombshells figures have been brought to plastic life, and let me say, they're pretty awesome. Perfectly capturing what is a very popular line of figures, toys, comics, and more. So, for those who don't know, the DC Comics Bombshells was founded in 2011 when DC came across Ant Lucia's prints. Basically, the line mixes pinup and rockabilly culture, that 1940s aesthetic. They've been made into toys, comics, statues. And here we see the latest release from DC Collectibles. This is the DC Designer Series and Ant Lucia's design. So there's been 4 releases: Wonder Woman, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, and Batwoman. All come with tons of accessories for you to, play out the exciting adventures of all these characters. Now, I'm a huge fan of the DC Comics Bombshells. I love that aesthetic. I love the look of everything. And the figures I'm fairly happy with, looking at them. I think they're pretty cool, really neat. DC Comics, or DC Collectibles, has hooked us up with all of these. We like to be nice and transparent about these things. So we're going to open up each one and show off what's inside. Of course, Wonder Woman, kind of the linchpin, the center of it all. One of those iconic looks, and she's been put into so many different items. I actually have a poster done in the Rosie the Riveter style with the DC Comics Bombshell Wonder Woman up on a wall. It's such a great look, great design, and really cool updated style for the character. So let's go and check out the figure itself. Lots of posable action. Of course, we've got the arms, pivots in every single which way you would want. The wrist pivots really well, and the head gets full movement. Figure also bends at the waist, which is really good, and kind of the upper torso, so you can twist them around. And then we got the leg. We have bends at the knees, at the hips, and at the ankle, up and down. So now, the test that I like to give, see if the figure stands on its own. Let's see if she passes or not. Doesn't look like this one's going to necessarily pass. There, almost had it. Yeah, it looks like these ones are going to, there we go. So with a little bit of futzing around, you can get her to stand up on her own. It wasn't too bad. We've seen a lot worse. As far as accessories, we've got the ball and chain for her to swing around and deliver justice, as well as this wrench for her to beat the bad guys with. Also comes with 2 sets of different hands that you go and replace. Easily pop them off, put it on there, and then they can hold the items. As far as the figure itself, the coloring is absolutely fantastic. I think the design is really, really solid. The stars stand out a little bit. There's really great detail on her wrist gauntlets, bracelets. The wrench itself is really great as far as coloring. There's this great weathered look to it. Same with all of this. The brick here at the end does feel like that, and the ball and chain feels like metal as well. So all the detailing is really great. The only thing I would maybe knock it at all is I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of the expression on her face. Something just doesn't quite seem right to that. But overall, I think the figure is really, really solid and a fantastic depiction of her bringing it to life. So I think really great when it comes to that. And, if you're a fan of the character, if you're a fan of the series, I think you'll probably enjoy the figure. So, top notch. It's one where, if it was on a scale of 1 to 10 or 0 to 10, I would definitely put this one up there really high to, like an 8 or something like that. I think overall, really good figure, and great depiction of the character and her style. So next up, we'll go open up Harley Quinn. Really popular character. Has blown up over the years. Comes with tons of accessories. I think as far as translating art to figure, Harley might stand out, I think, as the best of the bunch. Alright. Do our test to see if she stands on her own. Much quicker than Wonder Woman. That's a good sign. So she passes that test. As far as the design, I think the design is absolutely fantastic. We've seen the same sort of articulation that we saw in Wonder Woman. Things that really stand out to me is, of course, that bomber jacket. It looks worn, does look like leather. It looks fantastic as far as the coloring. She's got great detail. The shoes, the boots are absolutely amazing as far as the detail of the figure. I think the look of it is top-notch with the kind of rolling down, of course, the socks underneath. Her belt is actually loose. It's not stuck on, which is a great addition. I would normally expect that to be stuck on and kind of not movable. We've got solid detail. Of course, her kind of diamonds on the side, which look great. There's even a small Joker card in her tights, her leggings, and it is 3D. It's not like painted onto the leg. It is a 3D object that's kind of stuck out a little bit from that. So that's actually really amazing. Of course, we have medals on the bomber jacket. The bomber jacket is, for the most part, pretty stuck on. The parts of it are a little bit loose, which is solid. It's, I wouldn't expect it to totally come off. But the medals, just like the Joker card, all stick out a little bit, or a little bit 3D. And of course, there's amazing detailing on the back of the jacket with the Joker's face and club insignia. Looks really, really solid. Absolutely amazing. Easily, I think, out of all the figures that I've seen, this one's top-notch out of the bunch. Just the detail is amazing. Of course, she's got the goggles on top of her head and the small little marks on her cheek, which I think look really, really well. And then her hair actually, subtle, but the hair actually comes around her ear, and there's a little bit gap in between, which I think is really impressive. You can kind of maybe see it on the back a little bit where the hair swoops out. So detailing on this figure is absolutely amazing. This is probably my favorite Harley Quinn figure that I've seen released from DC Collectibles at all. For pretty much everything you've done. She comes with her signature barrel hammer thing. Of course, she can carry that in one of the extra hands that she's got that comes with 2 sets of other hands that you can pop on. And then the final accessory is pop gun, which is pretty cool. We've got a Batman keychain or charm at the bottom of that. Again, amazing small detail. I think is absolutely essential for these sort of figures, and this really does kind of blow me away as far as what the amount of detail that it has. There we go. Maybe that will be able to zoom in. Alright, well, it's going to be hard to zoom in. You can see on the bottom there is this small keychain. It's Batman. It's really, really subtle. And the amount of detail I think on that is impressive. It's not something I was expecting at all, and I think looks absolutely fantastic. The end cork at the end of the gun kind of looks like cork, which is actually impressive as well. Of course, she can put this in her hand and carry it around. So out of the bunch, this figure standing out is to be the best of the bunch. The amount of detail is absolutely amazing. And I think what really has won me over on this one is the amount of detail on the jacket, and then her accessories is impressive. The jacket detail is really good. The shoe detail is really good. It's just a fantastic figure. And next we got Poison Ivy. All right. You know, figure is really solid, and this one actually is kind of surprising me. I haven't looked at it a ton up to this point, at least not at this level of closeness. I've seen these figures on the shelves. And I've been generally impressed by them, but I've never really gone and sat down and looked at every single small detail on them. So Ivy might be the one that really surprises me with how good it is. There we go with the twist tie. Alright, so first test up is going to be the standing test. Now, all these figures have like high heels and stuff like that, which just makes it a little bit more difficult to stand them. It's because there's less to balance on. They do have pegs underneath, so this might need this figure might need a stand to like really stand up. Yeah, so Ivy's having some issues. Partially because it might be hard to see is the heels actually don't touch the ground. So you can see the front of the heel is flat, but the heel itself doesn't touch. And for the heel and the front to go balance, you would need to have her have like a really awkward pose. So I'm sure there is a way to do this. It's just I'm not spending a half an hour to try to find the optimal balance. So Ivy fails the balance test. Other than that, though, the details on the figure is absolutely stunning. It's amazing. You might be able to see it on the camera on this video. There is detailing all along the legs as far as her that you can see, like it looks like vines, which is really, really cool. And the garter has like a little 3D bit about it. But the thing that really stands out to me is the tattoos on her arm and her back are really, really cool. It's very neat. Look like plants. It starts off kind of a natural spot, which I think is really good. So it looks good. And then slowly kind of tapers down the arm, which is really, really neat. And then on the right side, you have it as well. It doesn't go quite as far up, which matches the character design. And then you can kind of see it under the kind of the torso area. So the detail on that is actually really impressive and really neat. You also see it on the brassiere and the top. That same design that's on the garter and all that is up there as well. Look of the face is solid, really neat. The thing that kind of I like about the coloring of this figure as a whole is that it has a translucent style about it. It isn't quite translucent, but the coloring kind of makes you think it is. And of course we have the rose that sticks out, which looks really nice, and then the hair kind of billowing in the back. The hair isn't connected to the shoulders, which is really cool because then it also allows you to see the tattoo on the back of her neck, which is something that stands out to me as far as great design of the character and the toy as a whole. But where I mentioned that the coloring feels like it's translucent, the hands actually are translucent, which is really, really neat. It's pretty damn cool if you ask me. As far as extras, we've got a rose at the top and then kind of the ivy vine at the bottom that looks like it's about to eat you. So overall, like, really cool figure, great details on it. One disappointment is it's clearly having issues standing up. So that would probably be the only bad thing, that you're going to need something to help her stand. So a little bit bummer in that. And that also looks partially because the heels kind of fall a little bit short. So final one of this line is Batwoman, who comes with a bat and a ball. Always have loved this design for this figure. You know, obviously evokes the styles of the baseball uniforms for the women that played during that time. If you've seen League of Their Own, then you'll be familiar with that look. So that, I think, is really, really neat. It's a great design. Overall, I think Ant Lucia does amazing work with all these. It's a great blending of real-world design with fun rockabilly sense. So for that, you know, I have to give mad props on that. It's one thing I've always loved about all these figures. Figure stands up out of the easiest out of all of them, does not shock me at all. She's got flats, which is great. Captures the design of the character so well. Of course, we got the number on the back, and the Gotham Knights up top. Hair is billowing, which looks great. The cap, I think, looks really cool. The design, the coloring around the eyes is top notch, with a kind of the smoky look to it. So, you know, as far as that, capturing the coloring of the character perfectly. Of course, the hat with the design with the bat ears looks fantastic. Overall, like, the design is so simple, but so freaking good. You know, top notch. I can't, like, describe how solid it is. As far as extras, we've got 2 pairs of hand, and of course with the hands you're going to want to be able to carry the bat and the ball. And there's actually an extra hand with the glove, which is really cool, so that you can put the ball and the bat in there. I think Harley's the best figure overall as far as the details, but as far as just the figure itself that I love, Batwoman I think is absolutely amazing. It just captures the design, everything about that aesthetic of that character, the whole world so well. Simple, but just fantastic. Overall, I think these designs, these figures are wonderful, like beyond wonderful. If you're a fan of the DC Comics Bombshells, to me this is like a must-get for any fan, because they're so good and so great, and I really hope DC expands these figure line to give us more down the road. You know, they've had some great designs as far as statues, and seem to be doing yet even more in this world. So, you know, hopefully we'll be able to get more figures in this line as well, because it's a hell of a line. I think this is one of the top-notch, one of my favorite figure lines for DC Collectibles that they've released so far. You can get these now. We've got links underneath this video that are going to be affiliate links where you can buy them. But, you know, by purchasing through those affiliate links, you do help support our site. I want to thank DC Comics, DC Collectibles again for hooking us up with all 4 figures so that we could show off. And thank you for watching this video. It's much appreciated. If you're into DC Comics, DC Collectibles, DC Comics Bombshells, you should check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. Of course, we're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. So until next time, keep swinging and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games. you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.